Voting began on Sunday to elect a new president in Poland, in a runoff that could set the course for the nation's political future and its relations with the European Union. The contest pits Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski, a liberal pro-EU figure, against Karol Nawrocki, a conservative historian backed by the right-wing Law and Justice Party. Trzaskowski has promised to promote constructive ties with European partners, while Nawrocki has positioned himself as a defender of traditional Polish values, skeptical of the EU. The runoff follows a tightly contested first round on May 18th, in which Trzaskowski won just over 31% and Nawrocki nearly 30%, eliminating 11 other candidates.
At least 7 people have died and dozens more have been injured after explosions caused 2 bridges to collapse in Russia. Both incidents happened in regions bordering Ukraine, but the cause of the blast has not been specified by officials. The first bridge in the Bryansk region collapsed on top of a passenger train travelling from Klimov to Moscow. At least 7 people were killed and 71 were injured. Hours later, a second train was derailed when the bridge beneath it collapsed in the nearby Kursk region. The train caught fire and the driver suffered injuries to his legs, said officials. At least 31 people have been killed and another 175 wounded as they were on their way to receive food in Gaza, according to health officials and a Red Cross field hospital. Witnesses said Israeli forces fired on crowds around 1 kilometre from an aid distribution site run by the controversial Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The organisation said in a statement that it had, quote, delivered aid without incident and has denied reports of deaths, mass injuries and chaos. Israel and the United States say the new system is aimed at preventing Hamas from siphoning off assistance, but UN agencies and major aid groups have refused to work with the new system, saying it violates humanitarian principles because it allows Israel to control who receives aid and forces people to relocate to distribution sites, risking further mass displacement.
The European Union's top diplomat Kaja Kallas said the world should be extremely worried about Russia and China's relationship, as North Korean troops fight alongside Russian soldiers in Ukraine. Kallas said European and Asian security were very much interlinked while speaking at a panel about ensuring global security.
China says it's neutral, but its dual-use experts are fueling Russia's war. When China and Russia speak of leading together, the change is not seen in 100 years, and of revisions of the global security order, we should all be extremely worried.
Kallas spoke at the conference after US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth warned of increasing military and economic pressure coming from China. He said Washington would bolster overseas defense to counter what the US views as a growing threat from China, particularly in its stance towards Taiwan.
French team Paris Saint-Germain triumphed 5-0 over Italian side Inter Milan in the Champions League final. The club that was transformed by Qatari billions in a bid to get to the top finally has its hands on European club football's grandest prize. Désiré Doué, the 19-year-old French forward, was the chief inspiration on the night.
J'ai pas vraiment les mots pour décrire ce que je ressens ce soir. C'est quelque chose de magique ce qu'on a fait. On a écrit l'histoire de ce club, écrit l'histoire aussi du football français, du football européen. Je suis très heureux pour tout ce qu'on a fait ce soir et durant toute la saison.
PSG fans filled the streets of Paris to celebrate their club's first Champions League final. This is Inter Milan's second defeat in the final in 3 years, after losing to Manchester City in 2023.